So when you're talking about the power of persuasion and creating an environment where you can move projects forward, where you get the pretty girl that you want to date you, whether you're talking to your boss about getting a raise, whether you're trying to get the car dealer to lower the cost. Everybody in their daily life in some regard wants to move people in a direction that benefits them. Right? So how do you persuade people? How do you make your point in a manner that sticks? How do you make your point in a manner that moves people in the right direction? Right? So a couple of things. Number one is you have to have an other person perspective. Right? You can't be self-centered about it. People can smell or feel a mile away if you're trying to be manipulative. Right? Even if they're on the other side of the negotiating table. So let's look at negotiating, for example. Right? I was going to buy a brand new bed. Right? Very simple thing. And the bed was, I mean, it was not an inexpensive bed. Right? It was a couple $1,000s for like this mattress or whatever. And that was a lot of money for me, right, for a bed. Right? So I'm talking to the sales guy and he's giving me the price and he's showing me the sales on the wall. And I said, hey, listen, I really need a bed. And I bet you need to make a sale. How many sales have you made today? And the guy was like, you know what? You're the third kind of serious customer I've had today. I was like, awesome. So it'd be great if you and your manager, if you made a sale today. He was like, yeah. I was like, well, how about we do this and save everybody time? Why don't we just focus on the absolute best price you can give me, and then I'm going to buy a bed from you instead of shopping all over town, right, to buy this mattress. It's good for you, it's good for me, it's good for your manager. Now, if we do this haggle, let me go talk to my manager, let me do this, let me look on all these sheets, then I'm probably going to go look all over town to find the absolute best price. Sales guy goes, I think his name was John, right? He says, I'll be right back. He goes, jumps on the phone with his manager immediately, comes back with like $250 off this bed. He says, Mr. Thompson, this is the absolute best price that we've got. I was like, now John, wasn't that fun? He was like, well, what do you mean? I said, don't you spend like an hour with other customers, right, going through all of the haggling process? Isn't it fun? I'm now going to buy a bed from you. I trust you a little bit more. I'm excited that I don't have to waste 45 minutes. You're going to sell a bed, and I'm going to get a price that I at least feel like is fair. Now, that may not work for you in every situation, but how do you know if you don't try it? How do you know if you're trying to persuade somebody and you're buying a car that you shouldn't try to buy a car on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 10th of the month, that you should buy a car on the 30th day of the month? The very last day of the month, at 12 o'clock, when there's 4 hours left in the month. Because guess what? Most people in sales have a monthly number to meet. Two things that occur with somebody in sales. They're either at their number and they get an extra bonus if they exceed it, or they're below their number and they get fired if they don't hit it. But either situation, you're in a better position to discuss financial terms because you know when to buy. Now let's take it to your job world. Timing. I just talked to you about timing dealing with buying a bed, timing with dealing with buying a car. Think about the timing of when to ask your boss for a new big project or a raise or discuss a promotion. It's certainly not right before your manager has to go into a big meeting with their managers and discuss some lack of performance metrics in your particular unit. The best time to talk about increasing your responsibility, increasing your compensation, is after you've accepted big and new tasks that are critical to your manager's success. Be smart. It's not always about what you want until you find out how to help other people get what they want, and most people will treat you square. And then when you get into situations where people aren't going to treat you square, that's where you're going to look for another situation. Whether that's buying a bed, whether that's working with your boss, your employer, whether that's buying a car. So one of the keys to persuasion, to kind of recap, is think about things from the other person's point of view, figure out how to put things in perspective that they can benefit, and then start introducing concepts that you want to move forward.